with a little health and a little wealth and a lot of love.
Was socialism and capitalism. And I can hit on these other topics in just a second. But socialism is the idea of where the government programs owns things like healthcare, jobs. Usually you're taxed a lot higher. And
a lot of people think of it as like the Robin Hood mentality.
Yeah.
Which might be simplifying things a little bit, but
yeah, I could see that. But it's really everyone that's impacted. But, the more money you make, you're more taxed, and you're given, that tax is then given to others, which, there's pros and cons of that, which I'll get into after we read a little bit more. Capitalism is like private equity, ownership, free markets. And so there's some pros and cons with this, but I won't get into that. But one thing I want to say about minimum wage, and this is where, actually, let me hold that, because Radical Ruth gets really into depth in that topic, and she talked about it already, but I don't have to divulge everything right now. Okay. So Radical Ruth says, it's so funny that people waited their whole lives for trickle down and never does. And the studies show it doesn't work. But people hate facts and love being brainwashed by propaganda and love being used and abused because they were told to accept it.
So someone responds to Patriotic Pat, which I can't even remember what Patriotic Pat said last time.
You mean?
So she said, you mean like they already are and have, talking about how government takes everybody's money.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Taxes.
Okay. Someone else responds to Radical Ruth saying, my dad and his wife work at a major corporation. They have for years, like over a decade, and they were making $12 an hour in a small town in the Midwest. My dad, who is retirement age this year, but actually can't afford to fully retire, has a bad back. So even with the doctor's note, they threw a fit because he needed to sit in a stool while working at the cash register because of chronic health conditions.
And Radical Ruth responds to this person, this corporation abuses their employees so much. They've been sued time and time again for the abuse. This country is also stupid as shit. Not let anyone check out people sit down. It doesn't require standing for the whole time. Again, it's manipulation and keeping the man down, pretty much what she says. She goes on and on.
And that prior person responds saying, exactly, COVID showed us who society would collapse without, and yet they are the lowest paid positions and often looked down on. But they were literally essential workers. It feels like they deserve more than $12 an hour. And then I think she also goes to mention how LPNs are, that they make sometimes less than Costco employees or
right.
other grocery store employees.
Right. But let's discuss this. This is a lot here. So to unpack this, they're talking about, and this corporation, by the way, this is a brick and mortar store. I believe that these positions are stockers, cashiers, that sort of thing. And there may not be a lot of jobs in these areas, and I don't want to assume here.
With a little health and a little wealth and a lot of love. That's the life that we live. Suits and scrubs.